All leaders are called by God, and they are called to accomplish particular goals. They are called to address particular needs of humanity. And divine calling sometimes is for individuals to rise to the occasion and address particular needs. Today, I want to discuss one of the greatest servants of God by the name of Nehemiah. Nehemiah was called by God to address a particular need in Jerusalem. At around 538 BC, Cyrus became the governor, became the leader of the Medo-Persian Empire. God had stirred his heart by divine providence to be able to see the need of the children of Israel. And he allowed them in 538 BC to go back to Jerusalem. The first task was under the leadership of Zerubbabel to rebuild the temple. Though it stalled for some times, but God stirred prophet Haggai and Zechariah. One was a very visionary prophet with his head above the skies, with lofty visions. Whereas Haggai was a practical prophet, and he recalled the people to rebuild the wall that had stalled for 17 years, and they were able to rebuild the wall. That was the task given to God to Zerubbabel and prophet Haggai and Zechariah. But that is not enough. There was another task. The other task was the task of restoring the walls of Jerusalem that laid in ruins and rubble. And I want to tell you, this task did not fall in the hands of a prophet or a priest like Ezra. Ezra, at around 454 BC, went back to Jerusalem with the laws, and his work was to restore the spirituality of the children of Israel, to restore them back to their covenantal commitment. And he restored back the Passover that had been forgotten in the 70 years of Babylonian exile. There is a civil servant by the name of Nehemiah who was recalled to rebuild the walls. I want to tell you, each and everyone is important. The prophets, the priests, and even the common layman. Not everybody is called to be a priest, and not everybody is called to be a prophet, and not everybody is called to be a career civil servant like Nehemiah, but all have a divine calling. And I want to say all divine callings are in response to the particular needs of God's people. Nehemiah had a passion, and this passion was evoked by the particular needs of the children of Israel. Their walls were shattered. There was no security. And the walls, which was a symbol of their unity and the symbol of their pride and dignity, was shattered. Nehemiah thought he was in Persia, and he was a civil servant who was enjoying the best of the palace. But God called him from the palace to go and rebuild the wall. All callings are driven by passion. Passion to glorify God and passion to meet the contemporary needs that are there in the church. When you have a passion to serve the Lord, it could be because of the walls that are broken in the church, because of the gaps of sermons that are preached. Maybe they do not touch the hearts and the needs of the people. Therefore, you are called by a passion to meet the needs of the people. Maybe you are called to the youth ministry because they are neglected as you feel or as you perceive. Like Nehemiah, passion is the essence of the divine calling. Number two, there was preparation and planning. Nehemiah, after the passion, he took time to pray. We need the divine direction in our calling. And there is the divine guidance, and there is the divine preparation. God, in his own divine way, prepared Nehemiah for his calling by placing him strategically in his position. We are placed wherever we are, not because we earn, not because we are better, but God has placed us strategically so that we can leverage on the power that we are close to his glory and to serve the needs of particular people. May you be challenged wherever you are that God does not only need our passion, but he needs us to leverage where we are, and we be prepared. Nehemiah not only sought the approval, but letters of introduction wherever he went. Ministry is not only about passion, it is also about preparation and leveraging the powers that be to accomplish a particular goal. He had a people-driven strategic plan from the needs of the people and preparation to serve the people. And he leveraged on the power so that at the end of it, he was going to accomplish his passion. Number three, Nehemiah was able to identify the different people, and he was able to identify their different talents and abilities and place them within a particular task. He commenced this work after prayer, preparation, survey, and he was able to give people specific specific responsibilities so that he could monitor, observe, and he was able to proclaim his vision to everybody so that he could buy the people's attention, so that he could get people to work together, synergize, and as a team. And he was able to accomplish this task in 52 days. I challenge all leaders, and I challenge people in ministry that they must have passion. They must have particular passion to glorify God, to serve people, and may they have empathy. Not only empathy, they must have a particular vision, broadcast it, get the people. And what is important is that Nehemiah was able to persist in his focus and vision. There were distractions and challenges. There were people who were calling him, and they were calling Nehemiah to distract him, but he persisted. Despite the mockery, the derision, and the threats, he persisted in his call. It is my prayer that we will persist in serving. And he celebrated his achievement by glorifying God. And he celebrated the tasks that people were able to accomplish. It was a team work. That's why today we need to learn from the reconstructionist, the person who recast his vision, the person who had a passion. He persisted. He had empathy for the people, and he also emphasized justice. He condemned the excesses of the governors, and he made the people accomplish their goal. We celebrate Nehemiah by emulating him and remembering the great lessons that he had to inspire a people-driven strategic plan. May we emulate that And it is not only passion, prayer, it is about persistence and teamwork. And above all, trusting in God, and you will accomplish your goals in life. May the Lord richly bless you as we emulate this great servant of God and humanity. In the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.